the first part right here, it says that we need to figure out which method would be best to the system. Remember, be careful. It says do not solve. Okay, that's what I was trying to tell y'all. Now, let's go down here actually and answer 7 first. It says, when is it easiest to use the graphing method? The graphing means even by hand or in the calculator. How do my equations need to be set up? In what kind of form? In y equals. Okay, now y equals is also called slope-intercept. That means both equations are written in y equals form. I see 2 of them already. What numbers do I see? 3 and 6. So this 3 and 6, tell you what, if that was my test question, boom, I'm putting that into y equals in the calculator, pressing second graph, and I'm going to find my answer. Now, when is substitution the best? When is substitution? When one of them is x equals, okay, so let me see if I can write this here. When one equation is either x equals or y equals, and the other equation is in standard form. Other equation is in standard form. There's not a lot of room right here. Let me write up here. Remember, standard form is ax plus by. Really, Crawford? Here we go. Ax plus by equals c. Okay, so let's see. This one doesn't have an x equals or y equals. 2 has an x equals. See, I can take what x equals right here and plug it in there for x. This one is substitution. Number 4, you can circle what y equals. Well, if there was a y in there, you'd be able to substitute it in. I think this one was supposed to be a y. I need to double check and fix that one. But I would use substitution on this one. That one's iffy. I would go with different answers on this. I don't know. Yeah, you still have to do substitution or linear combination. That one's kind of goofy. Easiest way to use linear combination is if both are in standard form, which is 1 and 5. Remember, because like 1 right here, the x's cancel out. You'd get 7y equals 29. Okay, now, flip your paper over to the back. Let's go to the back before we do any of these. All right, I want to look at the word problems because this is where I think a lot of us are struggling. First off, it says step 1 is define our variables. That's when we're going to say what letters we're going to use. Step 2 is to write the system. So that's what we're going to do first. Christy and Carl spent a total of 28 hours repairing damage to their home after a bad storm. Christy worked 4 more hours than Carl. How many hours did each person work? Here's the question that tells you what we're looking for. It says how many hours did each person? Who are the people we're talking about? Christy and Carl. And they both start with K's, so it's easier to do X and Y. So I'm going to have X equals Christy's hours and Y equal Carl's hours. That's defining our variables. Now, it says they spent a total of 28 hours working. So I'm going to have X plus Y equals 28. Then it says, the next thing you look for says, Christy worked 4 more hours than Carl. Who worked more, Christy or Carl? So you're going to write Christy, which is X equals 4 more hours means add than Carl. This is set up. What's the easiest way to solve this one? Substitution. So you're going to take what X equals and substitute it up here in here for x. So I'm rewriting that top equation, and instead of x, I'm going to put 4 plus y. Now here's what I'm noticing people aren't doing. Write the rest of that equation, guys. Plus y equals 28. Solve from here. I have 2y plus 4 is 28. Subtract 4 from each side. 2y equals 24. Divide by 2. Y equals 12. Am I done? No, it tells me how many hours Carl works. I got to figure out how many Christy works. So I have x equals 4 plus y. X equals 4 plus y is 12. How much did Christy work? 16. So if they asked us to write out, well, I guess it says describe our answers in complete sentences. Christy worked 16 hours and Carl worked, this is why I said write on a separate sheet of paper, 12 hours. All right. Let's look at number 17. Number 17. First thing we got to do is define our variables. The drama club sold 800 tickets to their spring play. Floor seats cost $10 and balcony seats cost $8. Ticket sales were 7,440. How many floor seats were sold? It's asking us for floor seats. We've got floor seats and balcony seats. So I'm going to make F equal the floor seats. If you want to use X and Y, you totally can do that. I'm going to have B equal the balcony seats. How many total seats did they sell? Says they sold 800 seats. So you're going to take the floor plus the balcony, and that equals 800. The other thing they give you, especially when you're talking about tickets, guys, you have to add the dollar amounts on there. The floor seats are $10. The balcony seats were $8. So I'm going to take 10 times the floor plus 8 times the balcony, and that equals 7,440. How is this set up? Substitution? Elimination. So it doesn't, well, actually, it doesn't matter which one you try and solve for, but what is our question asking us for? Floor seats. So we want to find F. If we want to find F, which letter do I need to get rid of? B. So let's multiply the top equation. What do I have to multiply by to get rid of my B's? -8. So I rewrite this out to the side. -8F. -8 times B. -8B. -8 times 800. I'm going to write it down here. -8F. -8B. Equals, what is that, -6,400? I'm just taking -8 times 800. Now, let's put those together. See, this is, I'm doing these right here. All right. 10F minus 8F is 2F. The B's cancel. What is 7,440 minus 6,400? Isn't it 1,040? Divide by 2. Floor seats, 520. So they sold, whoops. Darn. They sold 520 floor seats. I can find out how many balcony seats, but that's not what the question was asking for. All right, let's look at number 18. Number 18. It says Pearson's Plumbing charges $40 per hour plus a service fee of $50. Lee's Pipes includes a service fee of only $10, but labor is $45 per hour. When will both companies charge the same? So we're talking about both of these companies, and we're talking about how much they charge. Okay? How do we figure out how much they charge? What does it depend on? They charge you, your total price is dependent on how many hours they work, right? So we're going to have X equal the number of hours and Y equal the total cost, because we're trying to figure out the total cost. When are they the same? So for my first one, Pearson's Plumbing, the total cost is going to be $40 per hour plus a service fee of $50. Now Lee's Pipes, how much do they charge per hour? Right there it says $45 per hour, and they only charge $10 to show up for a driving fee. This is set into Y equals. Go to your calculator, go to Y equals. Let me pull up my handy dandy calculator somewhere. It's in here somewhere, there we go. And go to Y equals and put them in there. Okay, so let's see. Make sure you clear your memory so that if somebody messed around in the calculator, it's not messing your answers up. Go to Y equals. Put in there 40x plus 50. And in Y2, 45x plus 10. Now, where do I go to look for my answer? Second graph. What am I looking for? Yeah, buddy. I heard somebody say it, though. What is it? 8. Whoa, I missed 8. 8, and what are both the charges? Okay. Okay, 8 and 370. So the ordered pair is 8 and 370. Now, we did this on the last test. What does that mean? 8 is the X. 370 is the Y. I heard somebody say it. What? After 8 hours, both companies would cost $370. Number 19. Take a minute on 19 and please try and define your variables. Do not solve until I tell you that you have the correct equations yet. So I want you to define your variables, write the equations. Then I want you to pause, and if you're waiting on me, go back to the other problems where we were just solving and do those. So on number 19, it says Paula is buying 7 DVDs to give as a present. She finds that some are on sale for $12 and the rest are $19. If she spends $105, how many DVDs does she buy? Okay, we're talking about DVDs. How do you distinguish between the two DVDs? Yes, sir.
I use this S equals the DVDs on sale, R.
Regular. You said S for the ones on sale, R for the ones on regular price. You can do that, and I was going to do X equaling the $12 DVDs and Y equaling the $19 DVDs. Now, here's the thing. What you said about R and S is just fine. Because the reason why you define the variables is so you know which one is which when you find the answer. Okay, so stay with that, with the letters using R and S, right? How many total DVDs did we buy? We bought 7 of them, right? So I'm going to write with my letters Y plus R equals 7. You would have put with the S and the R, S plus R equals 7. Okay? Then you're going to put the dollar amounts with them. Because the next information they gave you was that she spends $105. So I've got 12 times X plus 19 times Y equals 105. Those are both in standard form. It's set up for elimination, but here's what I want to tell you. If you wanted to solve for Y, if you remember how to solve for Y, so for example, let's do it this way. Let's just do it as a reminder. Subtract X from each side. You get Y equals 7 minus X. There's one equation. Let's do this second one. Subtract 12X from each side. Let me move this up a little bit. 19Y equals negative 12X plus 105. Divide by 19. Here's the cool thing about this. We didn't have this back in my day, since I'm so old. Y equals, leave this the exact way it is, negative 12 over 19x plus 105 over 19. You're like, well, Miss Crawford, why would I do that? Those are both in Y equals form. Get your handy dandy calculator. Go to Y equals. Put the first one in there, 7 minus X. Second one, negative 12 divide 19, X plus 105 divide 19. Press second graph. Does anybody see where Y1 and Y2 are the same? Which is it? What is it? 4 and 3, right? So I see 4 and 3. Remember, 4 is the X, 3 is the Y. That means that they bought 4 $12 DVDs, right? And 3 $19 DVDs. If you can solve for Y, you can put any of these in the calculator. And when it comes to your end of course exam test, no one cares which way you solve it. Okay? You'll have answer choices. You also could plug and chug. Plug in the numbers, how we check. Talk about that in a little bit. Let's go to number 20. Number 20 says the sum of two numbers is 227. Their difference is 37. What are the two numbers? Okay, you're talking about two numbers. I'm going to make X equal the first number, Y equal the second number. I don't have another better way to saying it because I don't know what the numbers are. I just know they're two numbers. What does sum, S-U-M, mean? It means plus. X plus Y equals 227. Now, I was chuckling last night, and if one of my tutors ever hears this when I was tutoring last night, he's going to get mad. Because the next sentence says, the difference is 37. And I said to him, I go, what does difference mean? And he was just having a brain fart. He's like, And my 8-year-old Cade jumps up and goes, minus, dummy, minus. And so I just laughed. So he felt, he was like, really? I'm being showed up by a second grader. I go, yes, you are. Okay. Difference means subtract. So I'm going to take X minus Y is 37. Oh, why did I write 32? Okay. This one, I wouldn't solve for y for this one, right? Because this one's set up very easily to make the y's cancel out. Does everybody see that? Remember the mistake that I told you happens before. People would write this. What's wrong with that? Is it supposed to be x? There's 2x. X and x is 2x. Make sure you don't do that. I've seen that mistake constantly because people go too fast. And then I added 227 and 37. Did I do that right? 4 and a 1, 5. Yeah, okay. Divide by 2. X equals 132. Well, I'm going to use x plus y equals 227. If I know x is 132, subtract 132. What's y equal? What is that? That's a 595. So when it asks us to write it in a sentence, the first number, well, I don't even say first. I just say one number is 132, and the other is 95. What's the only way to check this? Well, we add these together, make sure they're 227, right? Subtract them and make sure they're 37. Does that make sense? Yes, no, maybe so? You're half alive or half dead? Pick one? Okay, great. All right, let's go back to... All right, start with number 10 if you haven't done that already. Number 10. This is set up for elimination right away because the y's cancel out. 8 minus 5 is 3x. The y's go away. 20 minus 8 is 12. Divide by 3. You should have gotten x to be 4. Choose one of the two equations. I'm going to choose the bottom one. Negative 5x plus y equals negative 8. A lot of people, if they're messing up on it, they're not writing down the right problems, or they're missing a negative sign. So you put 4 in here for x. You get negative 5 times 4 plus y equals negative 8. Negative 20 plus y equals negative 8. Add 20. Y equals 12. That's what you should have gotten for 10. Number 11. Pause the video and you can do this and come back and see how you do. Don't look at me crazy. I know you're not watching the video. Well, you are at home, not in my class. How is this set up? This is set up for substitution. Circle what y equals. Put it in here for y. So as I rewrite it, I get 3x minus 2 times, instead of y, put in there 5 minus 4x. And that equals 14. 3x, negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. Negative 2 times negative 4x is positive 8x equals 14. The x's go together. 11x minus 10 equals 14. Add 10 to each side. Oh, this one's stinky. 11x equals 24. And if you divide by 11, you just get x equals 24 over 11. That didn't make that very nice, but doesn't mean it's wrong. I'm going to choose my top equation. Y equals 5 minus 4 times x. Y equals 5 minus 4 times 24 over 11. Let's just put it in the calculator the way we see it. Second quit, let's go in there. So I'm going to put 5 minus 4 parentheses 24 divided by 11. I'm going to press enter. Then you can press math, enter, enter, and it'll make a fraction for you. So it's negative 41 over 11. Let's look at number 12. There's number 12. Ooh, I like these. I like these. I don't have to show any work. I go to my calculator. Not like that. Come back. Oh, and now they're just playing with my emotions. Okay. Go to y equals. Easily go in here and put negative x plus 6 into y1. 1/2 x plus 3. Now, remember, you can go straight to the table and go look and search to see where y1 and y2 are the same. Do you remember the other way I told you? Second, trace, 5 for intersect. Let the two lines graph, otherwise you freeze up your calculator. Press enter 3 times. There's your answer, 2, 4. If you look in your table, it should say 2, 4, 4. Right there. So your answer is 2, 4. If it asked you how you did it, you could say calculator. I'd be okay if they said it, if you just told me that for how you did your work. Number 13. How is that set up? For what? Substitution. If you wanted to solve for y right here, let's do it this way. Let me work on the solving for y and show you something. X minus 2y equals negative 6. Let's subtract x from each side. Negative 2y equals negative x minus 6. Divide by negative 2. Y equals, this is where people mess up. What number's right here by the x? A 1. That's 1/2. You get 1/2 x plus 3. Now let's put these two in the calculator. It said any method. It didn't say that I had to do substitution. So if I go to y equals, I'm going to put in there negative x plus 6. And in y2, 1/2 x plus 3. Second graph. Oh, it is in there. Anybody see it? It's the same one, isn't it? Isn't that what the last one was? 2, 4? Same thing. 2, 4. You could find this answer by substitution, or I'm just trying to point out that you can solve for y and find it that way in the calculator if you're able to solve for y. Let's see. Go to number 14. Go and do this one, please. All right. This one, they're both in standard form. I need to use elimination. What do I need to multiply my bottom equation by to get rid of my y's? A 4. Do I need to change the sign? No. So I'm going to draw out here. One of the reasons I see people making mistakes is that they try and put all their work together, like all kinds of crazy places. I try and write it out to the side to keep mine organized. 4 times 5 is 20x. 4 times y is plus 4y. 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. Now my y's cancel. I get 23x equals negative 23. Divide by 23. X equals negative 1. I need to find y. I'm going to choose this bottom one. You want to go to the original, guys. It really doesn't matter if it's one you changed, but it's better and easier to go to the original. I know that y is negative 1, so you're putting that in here for y. So I get 5x plus, be careful, -1 equals -2. That becomes 5x, negative times a positive is a negative, minus 1 equals -2. Add 1 to each side. 5x equals -1. Divide by 5. No, you're not seeing things. -1/5. That is not -5. The last one on this paper we have not done yet is number 15. Oh, yay! Easy, easy. Woohoo! They're both in y equals. So let's go to y equals x plus 2. And in y2, -2x plus 5. Second graph. Anybody find the answer? So you would either have to keep looking like this and going through it. What, you said -3? Oh, hey, I'm blind. Well, actually, my eye hurts. Or that second trace. So the answer is 1, 3. And you said the next one went back to the word problems? Yeah.